I've got a long last name, European name, Steinhauser. There's been some confusion over your last name and the pronunciation, and I'm just wondering, to correct the record, what is it?
Oh, this is ridiculous, these stupid things. Listen, the way to pronounce my last name, Winner.
He even pronounced that wrong. It's pronounced Wiener.
It is definitely pronounced Wiener. That's Rob DeSantis or DeSantis. I don't know, because he won't just pick a name and then say your name. Say your name. Just say it. If you think that this is a stupid thing, and look, I think objectively this is a stupid thing for us to be focusing on, I suppose, then just finish it by saying your name, whichever it is that you want. Honestly, he's, his family's Italian in origin or whatever. What was it originally pronounced like back in the homeland? I don't know. He probably doesn't either. But if he wants it to be DeSantis or DeSantis, he can. My name, what's my name? Most of you probably don't even know. It's John Iadarola. Do you think anyone pronounced it that way back in Italy? Hell no,
Iadarola.
Nobody did. There was like 7 more A's in it. So you do get to choose, and I give you that right, Rob DeSantis. You know why? Because I think that if somebody wants to identify in a particular way, it is merely polite to just do it. But you don't believe that, do you? You've given us license to make a big old deal about this, and then you continued it with that ridiculous "call me Winner" thing. Not gonna call you that. What do you think, Brett?
It's DeSantis. That's how you would say it in Italy. DeSantis. Si chiama DeSantis. E voi Iadarola. That's how you would say it, depending on what region you are. Iadarola. That's what you would say. You told me where you're from before, but like there's Italy until very recently was like 100 countries. And
yes.
So like they all had their own languages. Different regions were influenced by, depending on where you are, like France or like Northern Africa. Like it depends. A lot of places had a lot of flags. It's like the Six Flags of countries. It's the Texas of countries.
Bum, 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 bum. It's basically like that. That's the national anthem.
But like
Italy.
The one thing I take away from this, so what DeSantis wanted to do going into that interview was to come off as this guy who has a lot of prowess, is confident, and is cool and above it all, and tries to do literally exactly what would Trump do in this situation. But he doesn't have the swag. He doesn't have the charisma. So he just comes off as a wiener.
A wiener. 100% capital W wiener. Yeah. That thing of like, so what Trump is doing in trying to switch which way the change in his pronunciation went is just messing with him. And you could really interpret it as a test. And the way he's responding, he thinks it's like, nah, I'm not gonna descend to that level. I'm focused on winning. It is so Jeb. You are being so Jeb right now. The way you're being is maybe it's reasonable, I guess, on some level. Maybe it's mature by comparison, but it ain't strong. It's not gonna end the attacks against you. He is demonstrating every day that he doesn't have it. Yeah. And if I was one of his donors, I would be looking at stuff like that. And honestly, I'd be as scared by stuff like that as like the attacks against his prior support for cutting Social Security, because both are strong indications that this guy just is not going to be able to get through this primary.
Yeah, watching DeSantis respond to accusations from Trump is like watching the Washington Generals play against the Globetrotters. Like,
yeah, it is.
Ron DeSantis is playing yesterday's game. He's heard of today's game, the Trump game, which is not to apologize, not to give the politician a response, but that kind of like leading man, star of the reality show swagger is something that Trump has. And it's something that DeSantis is doing a crappy impression of.
Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like he was in this small pond, and I don't even just mean that it was a state level thing like Florida. The pond was, I just have to attack the Democrats or the left or whatever. I can say whatever I want about them. It doesn't even matter if they respond because my base is not going to listen to them. So I can just say whatever I want. It's easy mode. And now he's going into the big wide world. It's like if you ever, like maybe back in the day, you'd play like local multiplayer games against your friends, and maybe you thought you were really cool, and then you go online and you realize, oh dear God, there are people who take this stuff seriously. That's what he's finding out. This is not just attacking Disney for funsies or whatever. You'll get hit back, and he's just not ready to defend himself.
But like what Trump is even explicitly saying is, do you want the original or do you want a weak impression of the original? That's what the PAC is actually saying. And that is the literal question. Like, you spoke truer than you purposed. That is the question facing the Republican electorate. And the Republican electorate, a lot of them do want a sheep impression of Trump because they definitely don't want all that Trump brings with him. Now, the question is, are there enough of those? And are the people who give like the high profile campaign style personalities, are they going to give permission to the electorate to vote for that cheap impression of Trump? Or will it cost them too much to publicly turn against the Donald, because they're all just trying to see which way the wind is blowing and go with the strongest one. And it's too much of a risk. Trump has wisely, but clumsily and horribly made it too high a price to kind of try to appeal to both sides.
Yeah, I have basically no expectations from anymore. I'm hoping maybe Chris Christie can punch him a few times. That'll be fun. We'll see.
He tried, man. He tried, but they all are on camera saying, no, Trump's awesome.
Sure, but I think it has been many years. We'll see if Chris Christie has learned anything in the interim. We'll find out. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.